The Chicago Bulls have to be recognized as one of the most successful franchises ever, as the Bulls rank 4th all-time in championships won behind the Boston Celtics, Los Angeles Lakers, and Golden State Warriors. The Celtics and the Lakers each won 17 NBA titles, and thanks to the 2022 championship, the Warriors are ranked 3rd all-time with 7 NBA titles won. But the Bulls are 4th, and they have had some of the greatest teams of all time. The core of that team was Michael Jordan, the greatest player ever, and Scottie Pippen, who is a top 10 defender and a top 50 player of all time. Together, they won 6 NBA titles with Phil Jackson as the head coach. Welcome to Endless Sports. Subscribe now so you never miss out on any of the greatest facts about sports and the latest trending sports news. Let's get into the video. During the 1990s, being a member of the Chicago Bulls meant that expectations were at an all-time high, thanks to the brilliance of Michael Jordan. Out of all the 6 NBA titles won by the Bulls, the squad in 1996 has to be the most terrifying. Superstar Michael Jordan was the best player on the team, and the rest of the roster was built around two-way role players that brought toughness and elite defense. Jordan posted 30.4 PPG and 6.6 RPG on 49.5% from the field, while Scottie Pippen was solid at 19.4 PPG and 5.9 APG on 46.3% from the field. Together, the Bulls knew they had a tandem that was beyond anyone else's. As expected, the Bulls finished with an excellent record as they went 72-10, which was the best record in the NBA until the 2016 Warriors shattered the mold at 73-9. In the postseason, the Bulls went 15-3 with their only losses coming in Game 3 of the second round against the New York Knicks and 2 games during the NBA Finals against the Seattle Supersonics. Of course, the Bulls ended up winning the NBA championship in 6 games, with Michael Jordan winning the Finals MVP award. Meanwhile, the franchise with one more championship than the Chicago Bulls, the Golden State Warriors, has to be honored for their success. Arguably, the best team in Golden State Warriors history has to be the 2017 squad that featured the Big Four of Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Draymond Green. Not to mention, former Finals MVP Andre Iguodala played a significant role coming off the bench as a 6th man. Former MVP and 4-time scoring champion Kevin Durant made the choice to join a team that finished with a 73-9 record a year before, and the Warriors went on to finish with a 67-15 record, which was good for the best record in the NBA. Of course, the Warriors went an incredible 15-1 in the playoffs, with their only loss coming in Game 4 of the NBA Finals when the Warriors were already up 3-0. It is easy to compare the 2 all-time great franchises by imagining a final series between them. What if we were to picture an all-time great showdown between a legendary Bulls team and a legendary Warriors team? Specifically, who would win between the 1996 Chicago Bulls and the 2017 Golden State Warriors, arguably the 2 best teams in NBA history? After all, these 2 teams rank 2nd and 1st in terms of regular season win-loss records respectively. A fan voting bracket held by Yahoo Sports gave an indication of what the majority of fans believe when it comes to the 2 best teams of all time. The 2017 Warriors received 53% of the vote in a narrow win over the 1972 Los Angeles Lakers. Recent bias could have sent the Warriors breezing into the finals, but a likely combination of the vast LA faithful and a healthy respect for Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain kept it close. On the other side of the bracket, the 1996 Bulls trounced the loaded 1986 Boston Celtics squad, receiving 3/4 of the vote. The Jordan mystique is a powerful thing. Of course, NBA fans have been debating this topic for years, ever since the Golden State Warriors dynasty won their 2nd title in 2018. Unsurprisingly, the debate is widespread and the single most debated team matchup of all time. According to legendary Warriors coach Steve Kerr, who was actually part of the 1996 Chicago Bulls as a player, the debate will seemingly never end. Obviously, the 1996 Bulls and 2017 Warriors have to be arguably regarded as the 2 best teams ever. But which all-time great team would come out on top in a 7-game series? It is time to pit the Bulls' incredible team against the Warriors side that won the 2017 title in a matchup for the ages, where only one team can come out on top. In a hotly contested series, here is how the series is broken down and who eventually edges the other. Chicago Bulls, Ron Harper, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Luke Longley. Golden State Warriors, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, 𝐥𝐤𝐬 Pachulia. The Bulls starting lineup has three names that stick out: Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. Michael Jordan will be the single most dominant force in the series, and he will have a monster series on both ends of the floor in terms of points, steals, and assists. The shooting guard is simply the most talented player in the series because nobody else can average 30 points per game and dominate the perimeter on defense as well as MJ. Jordan will average 30.1 points per game in the series to go along with 7 APG and 2.3 SPG. The next big name is Scottie Pippen, the fourth most talented perimeter player in the series behind Jordan, Curry, and Durant. Sure, he gives up 2 or 3 inches to KD and also can shoot the three like Curry or Thompson, but his two-way play is simply elite. Pippen's ability to guard Curry and Durant the length of the floor and also act as Jordan's sidekick on offense will put the Warriors under pressure at moments throughout the game. The chemistry between Jordan and Pippen was all-time great, and their ability on defense can be suffocating. The third big name is Dennis Rodman, who brings what Draymond brings as an irritant but does it at a higher level. Dennis could defend multiple positions and is also the best rebounder of all time, so he is certainly a star player on the defensive side of the floor. No doubt the Worm will be critical when defending Kevin Durant and countering Draymond Green. The rest of the Bulls roster is built with two-way players who are extremely tough and willing to do the dirty work. Ron Harper is an elite defensive guard who will get up in Curry's personal space and force him into uncomfortable positions. Luke Longley is a massive player at 7'2", and his raw size will make it difficult for any of the Warriors players when they attack the rack. The Warriors starters are stacked with big names and some superstar offensive ability, even more than what the Bulls have in terms of the number of players. Curry is the best offensive point guard in the series, Durant is the best offensive small forward in the series, and Klay Thompson might be the purest shooter from beyond, even more so than Michael Jordan. Their sharpshooting is impressive and also intimidating because they can cut leads in a matter of minutes and also kill a game off with just a few made jumpers. They have that ability, and the offensive star power is truly off the charts. The Warriors also have two players who can create any looks they want on most possessions in Curry and Durant. Durant will average 26.5 PPG in the series while shooting 45% from the floor, and Curry will create his offense from 3 and will average 26 PPG in the series, to go along with an average of 4 3 PM per game. Draymond Green often flies under the radar, but he will be critical of what the Warriors do. His ability to scramble for loose balls, poke balls away, and be an irritant will come in handy against the Bulls, who have their own irritant in Dennis Rodman. Golden State's starting lineup fits wonderfully together and will be difficult to handle because of their elite scoring ability, even for a dominant Bulls squad. Both sides have complete starting lineups, and the series will come down to the finest of details. With both starters confirmed, it's time to look at the benches. Benches: Chicago Bulls. Randy Brown, Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, Jud Buechler, John Salley, Bill Wennington. Golden State Warriors: Shaun Livingston, Ian Clark, Patrick McCaw, Andre Iguodala, Matt Barnes, James Michael McAdoo, David West, JaVale McGee. The Chicago Bulls bench revolves entirely around Tony Kukoc, one of the best offensive backups in modern history. Kukoc was an extremely talented player because he could score inside and nail perimeter jumpers, and he did not have a real weakness on offense. His shot-making will be critical for the Bulls alongside the sharp-shooting ability of Steve Kerr. Before Kerr became a legendary coach for the Warriors, he was the greatest shooter of all time in terms of three-point percentage, 45.1% career three-point FG. Finally, the Bulls have some guys that can contribute 5 to 15 minutes per game as required, including John Salley and Bill Wennington. Neither guy will be required to play big minutes or even play roles on offense, but they can step in to give Rodman and Longley a breather here and there. The Warriors bench is certainly talented because Andre Iguodala is good enough to be a starter. The best player off Golden State's bench is Andre Iguodala, an elite defensive player who has the talent to make big shots, so he will be the key contributor in the series as a backup. The swingman was a Finals MVP winner for a reason because he always elevated his play in the biggest games. Talented point guard Shaun Livingston will also be a vital contributor off the bench because he has an elite mid-range game and can be given the free room to make shots from the perimeter and also lead the offense. Veterans such as Matt Barnes, David West, and JaVale McGee also bring defense and toughness. Barnes, West, and McGee bring size and defense at solid levels. Barnes competes mainly as a wing, while West and McGee will patrol the paint. Overall, the Chicago Bulls will rely mainly on Kukoc and Kerr, while the Warriors will have Iguodala and Livingston playing important roles as well. Coaches: Phil Jackson versus Steve Kerr. Phil Jackson knows where his team's bread is buttered, and he knows that the impact will need to come from Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. The two stars will clearly be focused in this all-time great series, and Phil will set them up to be in a position to succeed. Phil is a mastermind at pushing his players' buttons, and he will help Jordan and Pippen motivate the rest of the team. Jackson will make adjustments throughout the series whenever the Warriors go on their mini-runs. Most times that will come in the form of Michael Jordan isolations and spot-up plays for Tony Kukoc. Phil is lucky because he has the luxury of having Michael Jordan on his side, because the shooting guard will be relied upon to get the troops ready. But Phil gets the credit he deserves for understanding how to tackle Durant and Curry on defense. Steve Kerr is an excellent coach and one of the best to ever do it. Make no mistake about it. Kerr has managed to create a deadly death lineup that features Andre Iguodala at the power forward spot when necessary. The former Chicago Bulls guard is also an excellent tactician because he manages to bring the very best out of Curry, Thompson, and Green while also incorporating Durant seamlessly. Throughout the series, Kerr will focus on employing a perimeter-based approach to give KD, Steph, and Klay open looks as much as possible. Steve Kerr realizes the potent defense he is coming up against and will do his best to encourage constant movement to free up the stars. Again, Kerr will need to be at his coaching best to get his team going, and he will certainly achieve that. We hope you enjoyed this upload. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for even more great content just like this. Thanks for watching. See you soon in another one.